Hey yo, Jim, man, won't you kick some of that, you know? You know how you do it, man. It's a trip, people don't even believe we're together right now. But tell your story, you know the one I like. Right? Say it for me. Riders on the storm.
Yo, it's your boy SOLARBANG coming at you with another Fortnite Save the World update. First things first, we're just going to talk about the new hero rework, then I might go over some builds if there's time. So I guess I'll go ahead and dive right into it here and go into heroes and then hero loadout. There you go. Shrink myself down so you can see a little bit more of this. There we go. So anyway, what you have now, instead of having individual heroes with their full like perk card, which used to be pretty unique, I gotta say, you have basically each hero specifying in one thing really good, like base Kyle here with his building health, right? And then everybody else has their own like specialty as well, and you get a watered down version of it. And that's how you build your hero card. So, and then you have a team perk. This is something new, it's unique. And of course your gadgets. So how do I feel about this? I like it. Now some heroes got a nerf, sure, some got buffed. Some lost abilities that are just gone and won't come back. But overall, this gives us huge flexibility. I've never been more excited to play the game than now. I've been playing since day one. I put in, let's see, how many days as of this video? 584 days. So that's a lot. Just to tell you guys. And I've played from the beginning, and this is probably the most fun I've had. I actually, like, now when I'm not playing the game, I get that craving to jump back in again. And the rewards are better than ever, all this XP. It's crazy. Now, I will say that my dad's got Fortnite too, and it was not as fun for him. When I went over there, I was kind of struggling with it, and I realized that if you do not have a lot of heroes, you're going to really struggle. You might have to put some purples and blues in there too, just so you know, to get these loadouts where you want them, until you get the heroes or you flux them up. But this makes everything in the game more usable. It makes it more balanced. You can come up with some incredible builds, things you couldn't do before. Like with Mega Base, you could have a machinist style base with trap damage, electric floors and all, reaching 7 tiles. That's crazy. That was never a thing in the past. So basically, this actually gives us a chance to make our own heroes. And it gives Epic a chance to make more heroes, right? So now that they only have to worry about one perk, they can create heroes so much faster. One perk, one skin, boom, done. And that's going to change the game for us dramatically, because as we get these new heroes, these loadout combinations are going to keep changing and changing and changing. We're going to have more options and more options, and the games will get more exciting, and to the point where you're just like sitting there trying to figure out like which perk to drop to put that new perk in, because you're already in love with that build. That's where this game is going. It's going to be awesome. But that's how I feel about it. I love it. I do think there are some drawbacks. Some of the perks are gone. Again, some things were nerfed. And let's be honest, when you see somebody out in the battlefield, you might not know what they're going to do. Back in the day, you knew how they were spec'd. You knew what they were going to do. But you might have, like, you know, a ranger out there that's not spec for pistol damage or something. You know, you might run into somebody in the battlefield and not know what they're there to do. You might not know that, you know, this constructor is a sniper. So that's definitely one of the weird drawbacks. But overall, I love it. I think this is literally the new meta, the more exciting thing that happened to save the world. And honestly, it's going to motivate me to actually do what I need to do. I need to clean out my inventory. So I hoard that stuff. So I've been playing for so long. I got so much stuff that I got like literally 2,800 things, and I can't hold them all. So some of the new heroes I'm getting, they're locked. So I need to clean that up in order to get access to these heroes, because it's that important. That's the new meta. So anyway, I'll go over a couple builds with you guys just so you can get an idea on this. what you want to do is you want to pick your top perk that you care about, and then you want to basically have things that complement it. So like with this base, I have super strong walls. This is one I worked with Timmylaw on, Timmylaw 77. Very cool guy. I met him in my stream. I stream on Twitch, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, Monday through Saturday. And when I met this guy, I had a conversation. I said, this guy gets it, you know, and I really respect his opinion. His opinion sometimes even differs from mine. It's not like we're on the same page with this stuff. But I welcome that perspective. A lot of people don't. A lot of people want to have one opinion and stick with it, and you know, screw anybody that disagrees with them. But I am open to be changed. You know, those change my mind segments. I love it. I'm open to it, and it's definitely happened. But anyway, he has a YouTube channel, Timmylaw 77. He also has a Facebook group. I'll try to get the link to that and put it in the description below. But pretty awesome dude. And again, if you guys want to hook either one of us up, my supported creator code is SOLARBANG, and his is Timmylaw77. I would highly recommend checking out his channel. He's got a lot of videos and builds on there. He's been cranking them out a little bit faster than I have, so definitely check him out. Anyway, this build right here, super strong walls with extra trap damage, and because we're not using Mega Base, my favorite hero in the game, we don't have that length. We don't have the extra like tile length on the base, so it's only going to be 4 tiles, you know. So basically, we're going for all the perks here. So I put the slowed and snared, the healing, the power modulation, which repairs the walls, the super healthy walls. Reflection damage. So the whole time they're beating on these super strong walls, they're taking damage and dying, and electric floors, so they're being electrified. So for this kind of build, you want a small target, like an Atlas or something, or like a retrieve the data. But this is going to be super strong. It's going to be op as fuck. It's going to withstand a hell of a beating. You can also swap out like the base MD for like heavy base if you want like a knockback on it, or you could go with the fast repairs if you want to stay inside and constantly repair the walls just to ensure victory. But it's going to take a hell of a lot of beating to beat through these walls. You could even go the extra distance if you want, put like a fence around a pyramid or something. But this would actually make the pyramid back in style. It would just handle, you know. It's ridiculously op. Like, I'll do a video later on the numbers, but I'll just tell you, basically a tier 3 metal was like pretty much around 10k health. That's just crazy. That's gonna take a lot of beating. You see smashers charge through and break walls all the time. That's not gonna happen with these walls. The other build I used to have as my first loadout was Mega Base with basically all these same things, except I would swap out the one of these perks for base cow for the extra strength. Usually it would probably be the power modulation, but these days looking back on it, I might swap out the base MD, because the healing, it's actually nice. It used to suck. It's actually a decent buff, but it's not necessarily needed anymore. Alright, go over maybe a couple more here. I'm still messing with this. I'm not a real big fan of it, so I'll come back to it at some point if I come up with a cool build for Steel Wool Sid. This is my Ranger build. I tried to basically replicate the original Ranger. I went pistol crazy. I got hip shot for an extra 50% pistol damage right out the gate, which is better than what it used to be. It used to be like a double Ranger was like 48%, so that's crazy. Phase blaster, extra damage every 5 seconds. Your next shot will have 47 base damage. Crazy. 6 shooter, increased pistol damage by 20%, impact by 25 in the first 6 shots. So if you have a pistol that has a bunch of bullets, the first 6 are going to be awesome. More importantly, a lot of these pistols have like 6 or less. Some have 5, some have 1. So a lot of pistols can benefit from this, so I felt it was worthy. Phase Cannon, just like Phase Blaster, it's like a watered down version, except it requires a phase shift. So basically you phase shift and then you shoot, and boom, like you're doing 31 extra base energy damage. So these two comboed together, pretty insane. Then I have Make It Count for extra pistol critical damage. So I have some pistols with like really high crit chance. This is going to guarantee me an extra 75% damage. If you have any that have like 50% around or higher, that's probably where you want to go with something like that. Otherwise, you might want to swap it out for another perk. This is just my builds. Blaze of Glory. Phase Shift increases pistol damage by 35% for 4 seconds. So when you combo this with the Phase Cannon, works together. All this stuff works together. And then you have Locked and Loaded. I might swap this out because it's only a 15% damage buff, but it's only for 5 seconds. But it was a damage buff all the same. So I'm going to look into that. I might change it. Sword Master Ken. So this basically, Sword Master Ken is a beast. A lot of people gave him shit back in the day, and I was one of the few that stood by him. I know Timmylaw liked him always. I think Sly Gumby did. A lot of people shit all over him, and they shit all over Melee. And I mean, I get it. Melee wasn't the greatest thing going compared to like guns and all. And even at a certain point, the constructors with like Steel Wolf said the hardware was out dealing Melee damage. But I can tell you, ninjas are back in style. they're kicking ass. I've been doing Twine SSDs and whatnot as a ninja, and it's great. So anyway, I finally got to really get back with one of my loves in this game, Swordmaster Ken, who I used to roll with all the time, back when I used to main ninja all the time. And so he doesn't have increased like weapon damage anymore. It's strictly when you're in shadow stance. So it's like sword damage is increased by 75%, and now it's only swords. It used to be like axes, scythes, any kind of bladed melee. So there is somewhat drawback on that, but here's the cool thing. With this perk right here, this team perk, Endless Shadow, literally you can increase the shadow stance for 20 seconds. So one of the hardest things to do with Swordmaster Ken was trying to get to your next kill before that shadow stance wore off. You were always trying to keep your assassination stacks going and your shadow stance. And this allows you to do that. This allows you to have no doubt. Like, if you can't keep the shadow stance going with this team perk, something's wrong with you, bruh. That's all I'm saying. Like, if you can't get a kill within, like, 20-some seconds, I mean, dude, I could murder a smasher in that time. That's just crazy. Now, the downside is the shadow stance is activated by a blade. It's no longer activated by your abilities. So that's an important change. I have Assassination on here, which allows you to basically keep stacking damage as you're killing. Then I have Corrosive Strikes, right? So if you get a critical hit, you're applying Snare and Affliction, and dealing 37% of the damage dealt for 3 seconds. Corrupted Aura, this is important, because I might even swap these out and actually run this guy as my main, just because this perk is so good. If you can keep Shadow Stance going, it deals 6 damage per second. And you could deal higher if he was your main. And this, with Endless Shadow, you're talking like it's always on, right? So you're constantly roasting everything around you. 360. Then I have Anatomy Lessons. Increases crit rating of swords, axes, and scythes. That's huge when you combo with the Corrosive Strikes, as well as some of the blades I have with high crit chance. That is huge. Like, you're going to be constantly dealing the Corrosive Strikes. And then you have Dragon Days. Some people I know, like Timmylaw, for example, we talked about this, and he swapped this out for Fleet. He liked Fleet a little bit faster, and I can see the benefit in that too. And there's actually some new ninja perks that I can't use yet because they're locked, but the new heroes have some other cool abilities that might go here. Anyway, lots of flexibility. But Swordmaster Ken, if you have anything close to this, it's going to be a beast. Highly recommend you check him out. I don't want to tell you guys to use your vouchers. They're your vouchers, do what you want with, as well as the Flux. You could recruit him without a voucher, so just keep that in mind. All right, and my last build in here, this one is an experimental. I might go with something different, but I tried a couple soldier builds. I tried a shockwave build. I didn't like it. Just me, I didn't like it. I tried a Warcry build, still didn't like it. And then I settled on this one. I'm not sure I'm going to stick with it. I'm probably going to try some other variations, especially with these last two guys here, like Bulletstorm and Crackshot, because their perks seem to really ramp the fire rate and damage up. But this one intrigued me because this is the first 6 shots will have 100% critical chance. So I immediately thought, you know, what ARs have, you know, like low number of shots and all, like slow fire rate, that type of deal. And then I started thinking, like the Hydra, the Bundle Bus were pretty much top contenders. Rat King, Hunter Killer, because like it's tap tap tap, you know, one shot, like one click, one shot. And then you have the what else is it? The Dragon Roar, which is also an amazing AR with. I don't think that any other like ARs have the perks it does, with the piercing, fire damage, and affliction all rolled into one. So this seemed like a win for me to try this out, and it worked pretty good. I mean, I can't say it's good for survivability, but damage wise is great. I got this one for the preemptive strike. They have full health. They're gonna take an additional like 30-some% damage if you have enough heroes leveled up, anyway. Then I have after reloading, you know, 15% damage for 15 seconds. Why? Because for the weapons that don't have more than 6 shots, this allows me to reload and activate that perk again. Then I have the assault critical damage buff, right? Because those shots are going to have 100% crit chance. They're going to be crit shots. This is a guaranteed 75% damage added on. Then there's increased assault damage by 17%. This is a flat buff. And then I got the Mad Tidings and the Startup. And basically Mad Tidings makes your stability where it pulls up kind of like worse, but then it makes your Holiday Spirit, your damage, as I thought it was. So it makes your damage go up, right? So the gun might pull up a little bit, but like, you know, the weapons that I was talking about, you're not going to have a huge issue. They don't have a high fire rate, so it's okay, and we can stack that and get more damage. Is this the best perk? I don't know. You know, I'm playing with it. Still kind of testing on this. I don't play Soldier a lot. And then this one. This is just straight up range weapon damage buff. So I don't think I'll, at these low fire rate weapons, I don't think I'll actually hit the 25 stacks. But every single time I'm shooting, it's going up in damage. And I like that. That's good. So anyway, there you have it. This is basically what the update's all about. And here are all the perks. I strongly urge you to go and check them out. I might do videos on these. I might weigh the pros and cons. For constructors exclusively, I'd say most of the time you probably want to run supercharged traps. Just because, I mean, how are you going to get a better buff than like 40-some% like damage? That's just sick. I mean, like, maybe the recycling if you're doing a super long mission. But supercharged traps, you drop the base, it's always on, and it activates immediately, right? Whereas recycling, if your base gets destroyed, you got to start all over. It takes forever to recycle those mats. Maybe if it was a little bit more buffed. And the other classes, I don't know. Like I said, I might go over these at a later date. And big shout out to this one too, the boom base. I thought that was funny because I joked it'd be cool to have a base that, like, you know, is blasting a radio and all, and they actually have that now. It's pretty sick. So anyway, that's my take on it. I think it's a great update. People are on the fence. Some people hate it, some people love it. I've heard more people love it than hate it. I'm glad I'm in that camp because I'm usually in the minority on a lot of these things. I heard some people really bitch, but I didn't hear a lot of good reasons. You know, again, the character confusion in the battlefield, that's definitely one thing to be confused about. When you see somebody and you don't know what they're going to be built like, what they're going to be capable of, they could probably fix that by giving us a visual cue, or let us like pull up a menu and see how they're built. But that's, I don't know, we can get used to that. The some of the perks being gone kind of sucks, but it's not huge. I can get over it. Otherwise than that, like, you know, the fact that the characters are less unique, I get it. They're more vanilla. But we actually get more abilities. Like, the base is now a trap, so we get an extra ability. The the Outlanders, they all get keen eyes now, and they all have the anti-material punch. That's awesome. They get more abilities. The soldiers got the Stay Frosty ability. That's pretty crazy. And they probably got the shortest end of the stick on this, to be honest. And ninjas, they all got shadow stance now, no fall damage, double jump. I mean, it's crazy. And they got some pretty wild abilities, like being able to stay in the air. That's crazy. And with this update, you can mix and match. You can make any class you want a demo, right? You could have a phase shifting, you know, demo dude just kind of shooting across the map, blasting explosives, or a ninja that's like raining like missiles down from like the sky, just constantly staying up with quad jump and kunai. A lot of crazy options. I had a friend who made a phase shifting demo guy who trapped him in like a 1x1 little tile and just kept phase shifting and blasting, just wrecking stuff. So experiment, have fun, play around. Come on out to our stream, check the Discord, or look on YouTube. Look at the other content creators. Man, I know David Dean, Demon Joe are cranking out a lot of builds. I'm working with Capson. We're gonna try to have some type of hero loadout thing on the Fortnite DB, so people can share those and view those. So it's coming, guys. This is the new meta. If you're frustrated or lost, don't be, because we're all here to help. The community is huge on Twitch and YouTube, and we've got so many builds coming your way. So check out my channel, subscribe and like, please, if you do like this content, and we'll be having builds coming your way. And like I said, the other content creators as well. Last but not least, guys, again, I stream on Twitch, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. SOLARBANG is my supported creator code. If you don't mind, help a brother out. And again, this build right here, I work with Timmylaw. Timmylaw 77, check him out. Links will be in the description. Peace.